They told you for your whole life cash is king, yeah? Then explain to me why the king looks like he's on a starvation diet. If cash is king, somebody's been stealing from the castle. Because every year that crown fits a little tighter, and nobody seems to notice because it's quiet. I've lived through inflation, recessions, market crashes,
which made hundreds of thousands of lives much worse. Politicians promising everything is under control. Inflation is always temporary, they say.
Under control, that's my favorite joke. Funny thing, it's been temporary for about 50 years.
Why cash is a trap? Not because it disappears, not because your bank shuts down tomorrow. It's a trap because it feels safe while it's quietly bleeding. No alarms, no sirens, just slow, boring, guaranteed loss. Let's do kindergarten math. Inflation at 5%. You put $10K to bank at 2.5% per year.
For those who does not understand economics, they earned. But that's agreeing to lose your money on purpose. Just because everyone does it.
Your parents taught you always keep money in cash for Black Day. And when the Black Day happen, it will not help you. Go to the grocery store. Same store, same shelves, same brands. But somehow the shoes which you planned to butt costs on 15% expensive in a year.
The same works with food. That delicious chocolate, which always cost $5, then costs $7. Unaware people would say only $2 difference, but the reality is that it raised by 40% of its costs. People love cash because it doesn't move, no red numbers, no volatility, no heart attacks, just green dollars. It's like sitting in a burning chair by Gucci, saying it hurts, but it is Gucci. Do you know how the inflation works? No? Don't worry, it's simple. When government does not have enough money to solve the issue, they print more money. We need to pay for increased state debt, we print money. We have recession in economics, we print money. As you already understood, there are always so much issues. Then, due to the increased amount of dollar, its expense get less, so the prices raise. It influences everything, from prices on food to a rent of flat. You may say, let's just increase salaries. We already have more dollars. Unfortunately, it does not work like that. When business has to increase the employee's salary without productivity growth, then business has to lay more taxes for each employee, so business goes into stagnation. Your bank, more than anyone, loves your cash, but you would get crumbs. They would get steak. They lend your money at real rates. You get pretend returns. You're funding their business and thanking them for it. All right, so now you know the problem. And here's the uncomfortable part. But what if I say that knowing inflation exists doesn't mean you are protected? Complaining about prices in supermarket doesn't protect you. Posting memes about the economy in Instagram also doesn't protect you. Screaming, "We need government change," either will not protect you. In an inflationary system, you either adapt or you subsidize everyone who did. So, what do people actually do to stop getting quietly robbed? Not complicated, just emotionally uncomfortable and a bit unusual. But after the next part, you will not do same mistakes again. Rule number 1. Cash will not make you building wealth if you don't have millions of dollars behind you. Cash is for liquidity. It allows you to breathe well without any inconvenience that you cannot buy a cheeseburger. To be clear, I am not stating that keeping cash is bad. It is always have to be with you for any unexpected cases. But the thing is whether it consists 10% of your assets or 80%. We already see in 2025 how the dollar's rate drops to the minimum since COVID. If you have $100,000 in cash, so only by the devaluation you lost up to $3,000.
To fight inflation, you need things that move. Not emotionally or physically, but financially. Assets are key. Things that adjust when money gets weaker and allows you not only to save money, but even earn more. Businesses, real estate, equities, anything tied to real economic activity, especially gold.
If you bought gold for $10,000, today you would have $16,000. But if you kept $10,000 in cash, you'd have $9,730 due to 2.7% inflation. Rent adjusts. Revenues adjust. Stock prices adjust. Cash doesn't adjust. It just watches.
Third rule. If your income can't grow faster than inflation, you're running on a treadmill. And that's a case. Most of people does not include inflation in their calculations when they put money in bank as deposit. Years later, they cannot afford a car, which they could before with less money. Side income, skills, ownership, revenue streams. Still looks unbelievable? Crypto is another good asset that is builded against the inflation. Within the last 5 years, you can view how the reality changed. So much people appeared in Instagram who brings successful success, and every of them said, "I am trader." But if you understand it properly, crypto industry is the biggest plot changer in 21st century. Bitcoin doesn't care about elections. It doesn't care about deficits. It doesn't care about debt ceilings.
If you are interested in investments like crypto, there is a link in my bio to the Telegram channel. There you would see something interesting.
Here's the part nobody likes. In inflationary systems, good debt gets easier.
If your income rises with inflation, but your debt stays fixed, inflation helps you pay it off. Cash loses value, debt loses value too. The difference? You're holding one, the bank is holding the other. That's why the system loves borrowers. That's not a conspiracy. That's math. Someone probably assumed, oh, if I borrow money from bank for 20 years, so I would pay less due to inflation. And yes, on paper, that sounds smart. Inflation makes future dollars worth less. So you're paying back the loan with weaker money. However, if your salary stays flat and prices go up, then you don't feel clever, you feel broke. Your mortgage payment is the same. But everything else gets more expensive. Food, gas, insurance, healthcare, taxes. So that is cheap debt? It starts to feel very expensive when your paycheck doesn't keep up. Banks love this fantasy because it makes you comfortable with big long-term debt. They don't tell you your job might not inflate. They don't tell you your industry might shrink. They don't tell you your expenses will inflate faster than your income. Inflation doesn't care about your spreadsheet. It cares about reality, and reality says most people's wages lag behind inflation.
So how do you fight inflation? Not with hope, not with complaining. You fight it with positioning, where your money sits, what it's tied to, how fast your income adapts. Cash for safety, assets for survival, adaptability for winning. And most important, stop pretending doing nothing is neutral. In this system, doing nothing is choosing to lose slowly.